Want to get this briefing by email? Here's the sign up. Good morning. Here's what you need to know. The US is expected to surpass Saudi Arabia and to rival Russia as the world's leading oil producer this year, offering advantages beyond lower prices at the pump. The supply cushion allows the US to better weather global disruptions, and relieves pressure to act militarily when conflicts arise overseas. While President Trump offered reassurances in Davos, Switzerland, last week that America first does not mean America alone, China may have been the real star there. Mr. Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address on Tuesday. Here's what to expect. Our most popular story this weekend was about an obscure company that sells Twitter followers and retweets to celebrities, businesses, and anyone who wants to appear popular or influential. The company, Devyumi, has provided customers with more than 200 million followers, our investigation found. At least 55,000 of the accounts used the personal details of real Twitter users, including minors. Twitter forbids selling or buying followers or retweets, yet it has not imposed simple safeguards that could throttle those practices. After our article was published, the New York Attorney General opened an investigation into Devyumi, the latest in a series of federal and state inquiries into fake accounts on social media. Museums around the world are wrestling with the implications of a decision by the National Gallery of Art in Washington to postpone an exhibition because of sexual harassment accusations against the artist. Chuck Close. Pablo Picasso was one of the worst offenders of the 20th century in terms of his history with women, one gallery director said. Are we going to take his work out of the galleries? Separately, the #MeToo moment could be catching up with Woody Allen. Stars are distancing themselves from him, and his distributor, Amazon, is discussing ending their relationship. New York City subways have the worst on-time performance of any major rapid transit system in the world. A video tells the story of how it ended up in such a state. Despite the troubles, the subway does benefit some, in parts of Manhattan. Being near a station adds $3.85 per square foot to the value of commercial property, according to one study. With the transit system in decline, there is a growing consensus that property owners who benefit from proximity to the subway should shoulder more of its cost. For the first time since the global economic crisis a decade ago, every major economy is expanding. Amazon's search for a second headquarters has yielded free research that the company can mine when picking spots for future warehouses and satellite offices. Janet Yellen's final meeting as chairwoman of the Federal Reserve is among the headlines to watch this week. U.S. stocks were up on Friday. Here's a snapshot of global markets today. Tips, both new and old. For a more fulfilling life, make sure your medicine gets through customs this year. Travel with wellness in mind. Start the week with a red lentil stew spiced with turmeric, chili and ginger. The Taliban used an ambulance packed with explosives to set off a blast that killed more than 100 people in Kabul, Afghanistan. Militants staged another attack early today near the city's main military academy, killing at least 11 soldiers. Stephen Wynn, the billionaire casino mogul, stepped down from the Republican National Committee after being accused of sexual misconduct. Separately, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida fired his chief of staff over allegations of improper conduct. President Miloš Zeman of the Czech Republic was re-elected. The populist leader has stoked resentment toward Muslim immigrants at the Australian Open. Caroline Wozniacki won her first major singles title, and Roger Federer his 20th Maze Runner, The Death Cure earned $23.5 million to dethrone Jumanji from the top spot at the North American box office. Partisan writing. You shouldn't miss. Writers from across the political spectrum discuss President Trump's aborted effort to fire Robert Mueller, the special counsel Russia is banned from. Paralympics. The country has not sufficiently responded to its doping scandal, international officials announced today, refusing to lift a ban for the Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. In March, a sweep at the Grammys. Bruno Mars won all 6 of the awards he was nominated for, including the top prizes of Album, Record, and Song of the Year. The awards show also addressed topics including immigration, race, and the #MeToo movement. Here's a full list of the winners and photographs from the red carpet. Want more music news? Sign up for our email newsletter. Louder in Memoriam. Ingvar Kamprad, a Swedish entrepreneur, became one of the world's richest men by turning simply designed, low-cost furniture into the IKEA empire. He was 91. Quotation of the day. He said, "Here Mary, here are scissors." Playing with scissors was as exciting for her as Xeroxing was for me, and he said, "Cut off these words." Robert Ellsberg, recounting how he and his sister, Mary, helped their father, Daniel Ellsberg, photocopy the Pentagon Papers. The words that Mary cut off were top secret. The Times, in other words, shares an image of today's front page, and links to our opinion content and crossword puzzles. He was born in San Francisco and named after a Confederate general. He died as a celebrated poet of the U.S. and its people, especially the flinty farmers of New England. Robert Lee Frost, whose life was full of paradoxes, died on this day in 1963. A gifted observer of nature and the human spirit, he won 4 Pulitzer Prizes and spoke at John F. Kennedy's inauguration in 1961. Frost lived for years in Vermont and New Hampshire, initially working as a farmer, reporter, and shoemaker. His poetry, including works like The Road Not Taken and Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, used colloquial language and spoke to an urbanized generation that longed for the simplicities of rural life. "I don't like to write anything I don't see," he said before his 88th birthday. But he had no illusions about the life of the soil, the Times noted the day after his death, in part because he knew it could be spiritually crippling and physically exhausting. Mike Ives contributed reporting ________. Your morning briefing is published weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern and updated all morning. Browse past briefings here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What would you like to see here? Contact us at briefing@newyorktimes.com. You can get the briefing delivered to your inbox Sunday through Friday. We have 4 global editions, timed for the Americas, Europe, Asia, and Australia, and an evening briefing on weeknights. Check out our full range of free newsletters here.